Hey bass fanatics, Den Herring here, my channel Fish Den 365. You know, when you think about it, we really demand a lot from our fishing equipment, from rods to reels to fishing line. And over the years, the technology has it just amazes me how it keeps advancing, how improvements continue to come out year in and year out, how much better and more sensitive and lighter the rods are today, how the reels are so much better in how they perform, from specialized gear ratios that help you to have faster retrieves and to get line in faster, to smoother casting, less likely to backlash. It's just amazing. And then the fishing lines, the technology in fishing lines has really come a long way from the days of only having monofilament or Dacron line. Now we have fluorocarbon lines, we have braided lines, we've got hybrid type lines for all different kinds of applications. But there's one thing that hasn't changed in all those years. You know what it is? It's your knots. You can have the best equipment, the best rods, the best reels, the best fishing line, but if you can't tie a good knot, it doesn't matter, because that knot is going to fail when you don't want it to, and you're going to lose your fish. So today I want to teach you how to tie a flawless Palomar knot, because the Palomar knot is a knot that's used mainly for connection to your lure, to your bait, and it's a very simple knot to tie. However, you can tie it incorrectly, or you can tie it in such a way where it can break on you. And the thing about it is, if you don't know this trick that I'm going to show you, you can't predict when it might break. You can tie this knot 10 times the standard way, and it could be fine. But one of those 10 times, you can weaken the knot accidentally through tying it, and it'll fail. And when it fails, it's usually at the worst possible time, when you're trying to land that 10-pound bass. So I'm going to show you a method for tying the Palomar knot that is flawless. If you tie it this way, it will not fail. And I learned this from a professional bass fisherman, from Shaw Grigsby, at a seminar about 10 years ago. And ever since I've tied the knot the way he showed me, it has never failed for me. So I will show that knot to you right now. All I need to do is switch this camera angle around, and we'll show you the knot. Okay, so I'm going to start out by showing you how the standard knot is tied. So I have here some 20-pound test fluorocarbon line, and you want to take several inches of that line and double it up. So this is the way that I used to tie this knot, and then we'll show you how Shaw Grigsby showed me how to tie it, and the second way is the flawless way. So first we double the line, and we'll put it through my snap here. So we got our line doubled up, the lure is in it, and we're just going to tie one big overhand knot. But we want to be careful to make sure that this part of the line right here is not twisted, because if it's twisted and I tie that overhand knot, then it could cut into itself and make the knot weaker. So right here you can see we don't have any twists, so we'll tie our overhand knot. We come through, and then the standard Palomar is you bring that big lure through it, and then here's where most people would just wet the knot. By the way, you always want to have some water nearby to wet the knot. It's better than saliva. So we'll wet that knot up, and then they just draw it tight. So you can see me drawing this tight here, and then we just draw this thing tight. So this is the standard way, right? So, and then we cinch that down, and this knot, the Palomar knot, is an incredibly strong knot. So, but when I just did what I just did when I pulled this taut tight, just to check the knot, I felt it slip just a little bit. And when that happens, sometimes it can weaken the line a little bit. So let me show you the way that Shaw Grigsby showed me for the flawless knot. So it all starts out the same. We want to take several inches of line and double the line. Put it through our snap. There we are. And then we're going to tie this big overhand knot, being sure that we don't have any twists in the line. Some line is very wiry and it twists very easily, so you want to make sure you don't have that in there. We're going to tie this overhand, and then we're going to pass the lure through. And this is where we change the way we tie this knot. We take our finger and we pull the double loop up the line. See that? So now the double loop is pulled up the line away from the snap, just like that. Then we're going to wet it because we're going to cinch this down real good, and it's real important to wet it, especially fluorocarbon line, because fluorocarbon, when it rubs against itself, it heats up very quickly, very tremendously, and it could very easily burn the line to the point where it gets much weaker and it'll break on you. So we'll put this in water. So now we've got that good and wet, and then we're going to take our thumb and forefinger and pull this taut so that that knot up top tightens first. See that? Now that's tight. Now we're going to take both the tag end and the main line and just pull it to the lure while it's very wet, and then draw that tight. We'll tighten it, make sure it's real good, and pull on the line. And this knot just cut into my pinky a little bit because I've been pulling on it real hard. Anyway, that is an incredibly strong knot. That's a flawless Palomar knot. It will not fail. Like I said, since I've been tying the knot this way, it has not failed on me. So if you've ever had a Palomar knot fail, and it doesn't fail very often, but if you had a Palomar knot that you felt was weaker than it should have been or broke easier than it should have, tie it this way. Try this. It's very easy to tie. All you're doing is tying the standard knot and then just pulling the knot part of it, the part that cinches down, up the line a little bit, wetting it, drawing that tight, and then drawing it back down to where the base of the lure is, or in this case my snap. That is an extremely strong knot, and I think you'll find that it'll work very well for you. Well, I hope learning how to tie that knot that way will be beneficial for you the way it was for me. Give it a try and see if you don't like it better if you're tying the standard Palomar knot. Try this method that Shaw Grigsby shared with me, and I think you'll be very happy with it. If you felt that this was a good video and helpful in learning, please hit that like button. Remember to subscribe to my channel. We're certified bassified, and may God bless your fishing endeavors.